did you marry me? Because I wasn't that loose. I didn't sleep with
Miss
your
Campbell,
ass.
we already figured out. Yo, what?
Now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Andre Miller versus Alicia Campbell. Mr. Miller, I understand after a year and a half you want to end this marriage.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is awfully quick.
Yes,
what happened?
Okay, we got married in June the 12th of '98.
And July,
I left. Hello.
With another woman.
That's not true, Your Honor. I left, went back to the military. I was in the field. In the field, we're in the woods. We got dirt on our face. You know, I'm not able to call her and talk to her. Okay, once I get out of the field, I talk to my brother. My brother says, hey, I got something to tell you about your wife. I'm like, well, what's that? He said, I saw her. I'm like, well, where'd you see my wife?
Let him finish telling me.
Yeah, she's real rude. She was over a family friend's house sitting.
You can kind of tell she's a little rude. Yeah, he said she was at a family friend house. Let's hear some more.
On their son's lap.
Sitting on the
My
porch.
brother walked up and said, hey, don't I know you? She said, well, no, I don't think so. He said, aren't you married to my little brother?
You mean she didn't even know her brother-in-law?
No, she didn't know her brother-in-law.
She never met your family?
I mean, my family didn't want to meet her. My mother said she was loose in the caboose. My mother doesn't like her. We got married. She cheated a month after I left. To me, I said the marriage, I considered it over, period.
That's when you talked to your brother, he said she was sitting on somebody else's lap.
Right. No, but I had heard more stories later, about her being over there with this guy.
How long were you gone?
I was gone maybe a month. This was the next month.
Within 30 days after she said I do?
Right, within 30 days she said I do. She was doing somebody else, right.
What the hell is going on here?
Now, let me tell you what.
So she didn't
really
say
happened.
I do love you. She was just saying I do be with you while you're here watching me.
Right.
Your Honor, no,
and she'll
let
be
me
doing
tell
somebody
you
else.
what
She'll be married
really
to me,
happened.
but doing somebody else.
June the 12th, okay? He was supposed to come home July the 4th. He went to Mississippi where he was with another woman who he later moved in with. Wait a minute, he said that it was his roommate.
No, Your Honor.
This is the same woman he went to jail for beating up her husband when she caught them in the bed together. How did I find that out? Because I called down there to Texas when he was in the county
Wait a minute, you just
jail.
said a mouthful. So you're telling me that
all that.
Let me digest this. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Takes me a while to say.
Your Honor.
Wait a minute, I said.
Yes.
Let her digest it, because it's a lot.
Are you telling me that within a month after he said?
I'm telling you within 2 weeks.
So yours is a month and your affair is a month and his is 2 weeks. He's with another woman. The man, the husband of that woman catches.
This is what I don't understand. How can you get married to somebody and within 2 weeks you in the bed with somebody else, and then and with less than 30 days you on somebody else's porch? One is with somebody like. Why did you even get married? This, honestly, he's in the military. So far, it's sounding like it's some kind of an arranged marriage type of thing. I think he was maybe liked her or whatever, but in the military, you kind of get benefits for being married. So I'm wondering why they even got married. It sounds like it's for benefit reasons. But let's go in.
Him, he beats the man up
and goes
and went to jail. And that's how you found out?
I found out when he called my house collect and talked.
To get him out of jail?
Wait a minute. After he did all that.
She didn't have any money to
I
do
was
that.
still being loving. He called my house collect. And I accepted the collect call. He called me more than once collect.
From jail?
From jail.
Asking for bail?
Wait a minute.
No.
Wait a minute.
No.
I'm finna tell you his exact words. My sergeants won't help me because they don't like me. My daddy can't do nothing for me. Could you please call my sergeants to see if they could do anything for me? I do not want to be here. I'm tired of being in jail. I've been locked up for 60 days, Lisa. Please, could you please
Your
call
Honor,
my
that is
sergeant?
not true.
I would not lie to you.
That is not true. I wouldn't call her. She's the last one on her begging her.
Why did you call me collect? I have phone bills to prove it.
Mr. Miller.
Your Honor.
Wait a minute. The man that's complaining about her sleeping around a month later, 2 weeks?
That's not true, Your Honor. She was like 10 years older than me. I had no sexual interest in her at all. It was a totally
It was
platonic.
motherly, right?
Well, no, it wasn't motherly. It was just like a totally platonic relationship. You know, it was like a working arrangement.
So why are you having a fight or getting into it with a friend?
No, because the guy disrespected my house, and I really didn't appreciate that.
Your house?
Yeah.
I thought this was at the woman's house.
They was living together.
I said she was
Oh,
my
he skipped
roommate.
that point.
She was my roommate, Your Honor.
In 2 weeks after you married, you got
No,
another
this wasn't
roommate?
even 2 weeks, Your Honor. I stayed in the barracks. I stayed on post at least up until a month
And
after
but
I got married.
But my
a woman
point
after
is,
his
how you
phone.
get a roommate after you're married and you have a wife?
She had messed around on me.
No,
I figured
I
the
had not.
relationship, the marriage was
Wait
over,
a
Your
minute,
Honor.
1 month after the wedding,
Yes.
you leaving the marital bliss
Your
going
Honor.
to a
Your Honor.
platonic relationship?
Your Honor, it was not a sexual relationship. There was nothing going on whatsoever.
So why did you go to this other woman's arms?
No, I didn't go to her arms at all.
Why'd you get a roommate?
Because of my, my financial situation. I was trying to save money.
You
And
know
there
the
were no
army
men,
paid
and there
for
were
you
no
to have a
men
house.
available.
There
You
were
know
no-
the army paid
No
for you
men
to have a
available
house.
to
Well, it's harder having a male roommate, guy.
So, but if you were already married, why you just go back home to your wife?
For what? She was already with somebody
No,
else.
I was not.
She
And
was
you know
already
the
doing
army,
somebody else,
You know
Your
the
Honor.
army paid for you your living arrangement. We all know the service, the
Well, they
military.
used to. I didn't know if they still do.
Your Honor.
Wait a minute, I'm confused.
Mr. Roommate.
Hold on.
As you were.
Hold on a second.
I don't know what it is. It's like her face is funny to me. Her face is funny looking. Yeah, like I said before, I just think that this is really more of a marriage of convenience. That's what it's sounding like. I don't even know why they all bent out of shape about everything. They should have just had some kind of agreement that, look, it's gonna be an open marriage. You do what you do, I do what I do, and we get these military benefits. Well, let's go back in.
Okay.
I am so confused. Let me
Okay.
see if I can get it straight, because it seems like you all are jumping from point A to point B and all the way over to F.
thing is-
Hold on a second. I gotta get straight.
Okay, Your Honor. I can straighten you up real quick.
You better hurry up.
The thing is, Your Honor, she's a hoe. Once a hoe, always a hoe, Your Honor. She's a hoe, and I figured she had changed. She did not
Are
change.
you calling your wife a whore?
What is a chicken hen?
Oh, you can find that anywhere. In the hood, on the block. It's a bird. One of those that you just bring home and wear out.
That is correct. A bird that you bring home and wear out. That is correct. That's what they're for. That's how they're used.
Once a hoe, always a hoe.
Thank
Call it
you,
like I see it, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Miller,
Thank
you don't
you.
have to keep saying that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right?
Yeah, that's a bit disrespectful. I mean, she might be, but you don't have to keep calling her that in court and disrespecting her in front of all these people. His feelings must obviously be hurt, and I don't know what his situation was with this other woman, but maybe he just dialed it down and not disrespect her, and especially on TV. Like, he on TV. Like, don't be so disrespectful. But let's go back in. But it's entertaining. Let's go in.
You made your point.
Okay, thank you.
And I got you. I couldn't have been too much of a hoe.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Miss-
okay.
Miss
Yeah, you were a
Campbell,
good one. You got me, right? You were a good one.
All right.
Wow.
That's enough of the name calling. It doesn't get us anywhere.
You're right, Your Honor.
What I'm trying to get to is some understanding of the situation, because you got me confused.
Okay,
A month and a half later, you moved off post.
that's correct.
And you moved off post with this female roommate,
That's correct.
as opposed to going back to town where your wife was to talk to her to see if what you've heard through the grapevine is true. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, Your Honor.
So when did you confirm with your wife what was going on?
I called her and she
He
denied
never
it.
confirmed.
You did what?
He
I
never
called
confirmed
her.
with me.
He's answering my question, Mrs. Campbell.
Okay.
I called her and she denied it. But there are like 6 people that I know that are very close to my family say, yes, she has been messing around with you know who.
I don't know. So far, it's looking. If she was pregnant on the wedding day, I don't know. It's looking like some of his claims may be true. I don't know. This is pretty deep. Let's go in.
So based upon a phone call and your wife's denial, you decide, I'm going to go get me a roommate, move off post, and it's going to be another woman. Is that what you're telling me?
No,
Your
Your
Honor,
Honor.
can
But
I
I
tell you
figured
about the guy?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Your Honor, she's money hungry. And I mean,
But I'm still trying to understand why you didn't go back home, meet your wife face to face, have a conversation with her. The marriage is only a month old. Do you know that your brother could have been lying? It could have been a point of jealousy. People could have been trying to break you up because of any number of reasons. You didn't think enough of the woman you had married a month sooner to just go back to her, face her, and say, look, this is what I hear. What's going on?
no,
Let's
Your
talk.
Honor, I didn't even want to talk to her.
So
I
you
felt-
just jumped up and found you a roommate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it sounded like he was upset that she was tripping. So he said he considered it over. So he just got him another roommate. They probably wasn't doing anything. It sounded like the roommate had a husband, and the husband got upset that his wife moved in with him as roommates. So you got 4 married people: him, his wife, his roommate, and her husband. And can you say hot mess? Hot mess. Let's go in.
But like I said, it was a totally platonic relationship.
I got that point. You said it 3 times. Sound like you're trying to convince yourself, not me.
Oh, no, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Campbell. Now you go on and tell me what you were saying.
Can I tell you? Okay, the guy was a friend. We were sitting on the front porch in separate chairs.
So
I
yours
can
is
have-
purely platonic too.
No,
That's
I
what you
was
told
sitting
me.
on the front porch. His brother saw me sitting
That's what
on
I
the
just
front
said. So
porch.
you told him that this was your friend and it was purely platonic as well.
It's like going over a neighbor's house. I can't sit on the front porch.
Your
That's
Honor.
what I just said, Miss Campbell.
Your
It's
Honor.
all honest. Then
Your
you found out about your husband
It's not-
with another man.
It's
woman.
not. It's not
I
like
found
going to a
out
neighbor's
about
house.
that
Mr.
first.
Miller, you found out about it first.
I found out about him.
Well,
and the
according
woman
to
first.
him, it was a month and a half later. Obviously, you don't know how to tell time. One of you don't know one day from the other. So, point is, you
But
found
I was-
out about him and
I was
another woman.
sitting on the-
What's the next point you want to tell me?
While I was down in the military, after we had this situation, it was up in the air, everything, I found out everything. She was calling my commander, saying that I need to send her money. I need to send her, my baby is starving. She's about to get evicted.
What baby? How'd you have a baby in a month?
I didn't
I
have a
had a
baby with her.
baby.
It was my best friend's kid.
Okay,
She
well,
talking
you
about-
married
I'm
me.
not
You
talking to
married
you.
my daughter.
It was
You
my
did not
best.
just
I'm not
marry
talking
me.
to you.
Mrs. Campbell, when he married you, he didn't marry your daughter.
He did.
No,
How
he
you gonna
didn't.
marry me and don't agree to take on this
He
responsibility?
did
That
not.
is the man.
He did not marry your
She became his stepdaughter.
Mrs. Campbell. He didn't marry your daughter. He married you. Now, if you're
And
trying to say
everything
that
that
he
comes
accepted
along
the
with it.
responsibility of taking care of you and your daughter, that's one thing. But he didn't marry your daughter.
Well, he accepted that responsibility.
At
when
least you
said
thought he
I
did anyway. Go on, move
Now,
on.
she was calling my commander.
I like how the judge kind of corrected her right there, because there's a lot of entitlement going on. Like, yeah, he married you. He didn't marry your daughter. That's even weird to say, but I understand what she was saying. He accepted the responsibility of taking care of my daughter and all of that other stuff. But, look, at the end of the day, that's your kid. That's like, you're the mother. You need to be providing for your daughter. Yes, that's his stepdaughter. But at the same time, where's her, your daughter's father at? He's the one who should be providing for her and taking care of her. You give him the blues. You don't give the guys who baby that's not the blues. Even though he's your husband, you get the blues to the man who seed that is. So I'm glad the judge corrected her on that. But let's go in.
Tell him that my kid is starving. She's about to get evicted. She's living with her mother. She
Okay.
used a Red Cross. That is something you only use if somebody in your family's
Because I
died
could not
or it's a
get a hold
dire
to him.
emergency.
Okay, so then what happened?
My commander told me, he said, tell her to stop calling. And I'm like, I'll tell her to
right.
stop calling, because she was just calling him and bugging.
He didn't even like his commander.
And I-
Didn't even like him.
Well, what's the point? What are you trying to tell me? Why are you telling me this?
Right.
Your Honor, she's brought me here because she wants something from me, and I feel that she doesn't deserve
I didn't
it.
What
bring
do you
him
want
mine.
from
I
her?
didn't bring him
What
here.
do you want
He
from
brought me here.
Now that you're both here, what do you want from me?
She wants.
I want. He got for him being married to me and my daughter. He got $400.
He wasn't married to your daughter.
Well, for him being married to me and me having that child, he got $439 extra a month.
Per month.
Per month.
How long was he in the military?
For 6 months, he got this money for me. Okay? That equals up to $2,634.
All right.
I feel like he owed me this money because when I did get a job and I had to take my daughter to daycare because just because my mother is at home, she is not an all-day daycare. Just because when I tried to get some help from the state to pay for, you know, for her to go to daycare and stuff, I couldn't. Why I could not? Because I was married to a man in the service.
Now that's a pretty big deal. She couldn't get it because she was married to a man in the service, and he is getting the extra what, $439 or something like she said, per month for her, which added up to over $2,000. So, what you talking about, eight months or something like that? But anyway, about 6 months. But anyway. Question for y'all: do you think that she should get this money if she been cheating on him and she was pregnant before they got married? He didn't even know that she was pregnant, and now, you know, she's asking for this money. Do you think she should get the money? You know, just let me know in the comments. What do you think, if she's entitled to this money, or if she's entitled to half of it, or she's entitled to all of it? Let me know in the comments. Let's go back in.
And they was giving him money for that.
Did you keep getting that extra money?
Your Honor, the extra money, the money does not say on the bottom of my LES WIC.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
don't tell me. Let me see the
Right here.
military
It doesn't-
statement.
Your Honor, listen,
That's
it
how much
doesn't-
he got extra for having
Your Honor,
dependents.
it doesn't say women with independent children. It
Yes.
says BAQ,
Women
which is
with
basic.
dependents.
No,
Married men with
You know what?
dependents.
Your
Let
Honor.
me understand the fact.
Your Honor, it says BAQ is basic allowance for quarters. That means that if a soldier is married, he cannot live on post. They gave you that money to live off post. It's not like I got a whole lot of
So why
money.
did you need a
It's not
roommate?
like, I'm not talking to you. It's not like the money was for me to gain anything. I didn't get any jewelry. I didn't have any extravagant cars.
Well, you know what
anything
it
like
says?
that.
Woman.
I disagree with you, because it says pay grades with dependents rates. Dependents mean spouse, children, or both. Dependents.
Right.
All right, so you got this grade because you had a dependent.
No. The BAQ was for me to live off post because I was married. Yeah, if you married, automatically that's a dependent, a wife or what have
Selected
you.
military housing by pay grades with dependents rates. That's what this chart is.
Okay.
I understand those words really well.
Okay.
I also understand, and you can try to convince me otherwise, but I know better, that the military does give you an additional allotment if you're married and if you have a child. You got a basic pay rate if you're a single man, you get another rate if you're married, and you get another one if you're married with children.
Okay.
Tell me I'm lying.
No, you're not lying.
All right, then.
You're not lying.
Not lying, but I mean, number one, none of those kids was his, and even though it's his stepdaughter, it sounds like he's saying his wife was the dependent, not her kids. The question I have is, how can the judge really prove that it's for both dependents, his wife and his stepdaughter? That will be key to me. But let's go back in.
Let's hear it. So now, when you were getting that additional rate, did you continue to get it because you were married?
Because I was married, yes.
Did you give her any of it?
No, I didn't. That money was going to continue to come up until I got a divorce. Whether it's separate or not, the money was
and
going
so
to continue to come.
you stay married until you get out of the military, because as long as the military knows that you're married, you get the additional money, and you keep getting it until you get out. But although the marriage is over, according to you, 1 month later, you don't bother to stop this pay.
Your Honor, you can't just go stop the pay. And I didn't stay married for the sake of the money. I had a house. I mean, I had I had a car. I wasn't really wanting for anything, so I didn't
He
stay married to
stayed married
that
for the
the
money.
sake of the money.
He stayed married
Why'd you
for
say-
the
why-
money.
why'd
$400
you
is
stay
something I
married?
could do without. I mean, not to be bothered with her. I don't need it. You see what I'm saying? That was something.
So then why didn't you give it to her?
Why didn't I give it to her? Because she
That's
didn't
what
need.
my
She was
question-
sleeping with somebody else. She could have got it from the man she was
with
home
nobody
with.
else, and he doesn't have proof I was sleeping with nobody else, but you was
She was
living
pregnant,
with
Your
somebody.
Honor. When we got married, she was pregnant then.
Now wait
And
a
I didn't
minute.
find this out till later on.
I surely
Oh,
was.
no.
I didn't find this out till
tell you
after
about
we
it.
got
Wait a
married.
minute.
When he came back and
Oh, no,
proposed
hold
to
on.
me,
Hold on.
Your Honor.
Mrs. Campbell, on the day of the wedding, you were pregnant?
Yes, and
Wait
I
a
didn't
minute.
know this until after we got
Did you
married,
know
Your
you
Honor.
were pregnant?
Let me tell
Yes,
you
she knew.
this. I did not know I was pregnant.
Oh,
And
you
when he
didn't know
came
either.
back and proposed to me, Your Honor, me and him was not going together.
I understand that.
Okay, he popped up out the blue, and when he came there that day, I told Andre, well, I have a friend that I was calling my man at the time. You see
That
what
wasn't
I'm
my
saying?
question. When you
I didn't
asked,
know I was pregnant. I got sick. Okay? I got sick and went to the hospital. And immediately, I called him from the emergency room. I called him and I said, well, Andre, look, the doctor just told me that I was pregnant. He said that I was weekly positive. The next day, I had a miscarriage, which says that I was pregnant in my tubes, so they had to take the baby, which tells you I was no more than 8 weeks. So I did not know. You see what I'm saying? I didn't know I was pregnant. I wouldn't have married him when I was.
She
if
knew.
I was in 8
Well, wait a
weeks,
minute.
I wasn't pregnant.
It doesn't matter. Did she tell you?
No, she did not
I
tell
called
me.
him from the emergency
Did
room
she
and
call you
told
from
him.
the
She
emergency
called
room?
me. She didn't call me from the emergency room.
I
and
did
told me.
call you. I called you on a three-way.
No.
Stop.
Your Honor.
Did you at some point find out she was in the
I
hospital?
found out that she had got sick and went to the.
I have to say I believe her on that. I think she did call him from the emergency room and told him that she was pregnant then and there. So I'm just looking at dude eyebrows. They look a little evil. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, let's go in.
To the hospital and she was
And
pregnant.
did you
Yeah.
find out before you married her?
No, I
This
did
was
not
after
know.
we got married. This
No, I
is
did
when
not
I
know.
found out. I called him from the emergency room. And want me to tell you how I could tell you, I know I called him.
Did you know she had
because
another man?
I didn't.
No, I didn't know she
You
was
know
like.
I had
didn't-
another
I mean,
man.
she's loose in the caboose. She's like Free Willy, so whenever she see one, she wants to get it.
But you know what? He didn't tell you I was sleeping with everybody but him. Tell that.
Yeah, we slept together, Your Honor, one time.
One time. And
All
not
right,
even
but
when you
the
was my
point is,
boyfriend, you wasn't good enough.
Mrs.
So I wasn't
Campbell.
too loose.
Well, if he wasn't good enough, why did you marry him? And why would you marry a woman if you only been with her one time? A lot of stuff is not making sense. I'm just saying, let's go in.
So why did you marry me? Because I wasn't that loose. I didn't sleep with
Miss
your
Campbell, we
ass.
already figured out. Yo, what? You better watch your mouth.
When divorce court
Ooh,
returns,
I don't know
the
why he
judge
would marry
renders
her.
verdict.
Now, what about the money? You want the money back?
I want the money back because
And
he
he
got
just,
it
but
from
he
me.
just told me the $400. He'll give up anything to get rid of you.
Your Honor, no. How could she be entitled to that money? I mean, she doesn't deserve
Because
that
they
money.
gave it to you
She
for
was
me.
sleeping with someone else. That money was for me if I had a family to live off post. That money did not say they did not say I had to give that money to my wife.
The commander said you didn't have to send her that money. The Army said you didn't have to send her that money. But unfortunately, you brought the case to me.
Yeah. Family court, y'all. For guys, oof, it's a whole different set of rules. Fair is not a thing in family court. Just advantage, and only one set of people get the advantage. Okay, it's not about fairness; it's about advantage. Let's see what let's see what the judge say.
I'm not bound by any of their statements. And guess what I say? I say you give it all to her. Whatever share she gets as a dependent, you go back to your base rate. Now, what was your base rate if you didn't have a dependent?
About $1,100
All right, $1,100 what, per month?
per month.
The $439 was additional, right?
That's right.
So pay it to her. She's worth it. That's what you said. Now, that's what I say. They didn't tell you. I just told you. $439 a month for each month you received it. $2,634 per month total right now. Mrs. Campbell gets it. Court's adjourned.
Now, as you can see, she was awarded $2,680 something. And like I said, in family court, it ain't about fair. It's about advantage. And look, if I'm being honest though, if he got that extra money for his wife, he should have at least shared it and gave her maybe 200 of it, especially if he's the breadwinner. He has to, he was paying all of the bills. It don't sound like she had a job, because there's a bump in pay. I'm not necessarily sure why she gets all of it. You know what I mean? If anything, I would say that they should have split it down the middle. So he got 200 something, she got 200 something, so I would have split that whole thing in half, like $1,000 something, like $1,300 or so, to the wife. But the judge, she gave all of that, to, like, the benefit of being married was solely to her benefit. It wasn't to his. I mean, he could have stayed single for all of that and just kept getting his regular check. That's why I don't think it wasn't fair. Like I said, family court is not about being fair. It's about giving one party an advantage, and normally it always go to the woman. Anyway, let me know what y'all think of that in the comments. In the meantime, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.